Hi, I'm Alisa Lamal, Legal Content Specialist at Krause Financial Services. I'm joined today by Samantha Shepherd, the founder of Shepherd Elder Law. Specializing in the areas of elder law, estate planning, and special needs law, Samantha serves clients in both Kansas and Missouri. She's an active member of NALA in both state chapters and has served on a number of committees that specifically help other elder law attorneys. Samantha is an accredited attorney with the VA and a certified elder law attorney in both states, as well as the president and CEO of Assured Trust Company. Today, Samantha will be sharing her story with us surrounding her personal experience with elder law, starting her own practice, and what the industry is currently like for an elder law attorney today. Samantha, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me, Alisa.
Absolutely. So let's dive in. Let's get to the first question here. How did you first hear about elder law and what made you feel drawn to this specific practice area?
Great question. When I went to law school, elder law was not a class. I went to law school in 1991, finished in 94, all the way through, never heard of it. It took until I was at UMKC, which is the University of Missouri here in Kansas City, for a tax LLM. It's called Estate Planning and Tax. And I met a guest speaker, or an adjunct professor, Craig Reeves, and he had a class called Elder Law and Special Needs, or I think it might have just been Intro to Elder Law. And I went with absolutely no idea that I was going to fall in love with this area. It was just a complete wonderful topic for me. It drew me in, complete magnet. And what was the second part of your question?
So what made you feel drawn to this specific practice area?
It was magnetic, but I couldn't remember what you'd asked me. How did I feel drawn in? I'd always wanted to feel that I could contribute, that I wasn't in law just to earn a paycheck. And I had 4 kids, and the feeling I had overall at the end of some days was I'd rather stay home with them than work. I don't feel that I am an advocate, and I don't want to be a prickly lawyer. And then I met and heard about this area of the law, elder law, and I thought this is an opportunity for me to advocate and help navigate through a system, to right some wrongs without to fight some dragons, but without having to go to court, and knowing for sure that I was making a difference in the actual family's life that I was helping that day, hopefully helping people.
So you liked it enough that you decided to open your own elder law practice, Shepherd Elder Law. What led you to create your own firm?
I think that many people would practice elder law, at least if they didn't have to open their own firm. The limits that elder law places on a practitioner right now is that larger firms generally are not interested in an elder law practice area, or they stick it inside of estate planning because they have a misconception that it is not a lucrative area to practice in. And that is, as I said, a misconception if handled with, and like the same way that any other practice area, if you develop an expertise and you're saving people money, then you can charge fees for that service. Yes, there are people who have very little money, and there are times when you do things pro bono, as in any other field.
So when you first opened your practice, I assume that came with a lot of challenges and learning curves. What were some of the obstacles that you had to overcome?
The obstacles I continue to overcome every single day. Running a practice is extremely challenging. It's not just sitting in front of people and giving legal advice. It's dealing with the technical issues, such as this morning's text, which said, "Good morning, the office manager is out of town. The new gal started and we don't know how to get into her email." So it sounds really small, but if you have a building team, there are constantly issues like that. So some of the practical things that made it challenging to start a practice were developing referral sources, figuring out which billing system I would use, what cloud storage I would use, where to physically place the business, how to advertise, whether to have a website, whether to have malpractice, which parts of elder law I would pick to practice in, because there are several different veins within elder law.
So, well, that's a really good point. So there's a couple different subcategories under the larger umbrella of elder law. So when you have a new client reach out to you and your firm, what service are they typically looking for?
If everybody called and only asked for what I did, that would be marvelous. But sometimes I get everything from, my grandma is very difficult. Do you know where we can put her? And I am not exaggerating. To, my grandmother is a spendthrift and we cannot, none of us can live under her roof on her Social Security check. I've had so many things that come in. So we do have a screening mechanism. And what we're trying to find out is, are the people that are calling us, do they really belong here at Shepherd? So we have chosen that we will handle Medicaid issues, both single people with Medicaid crisis planning and families that are looking perhaps to do a division of assets. They don't know that's what they want, but somebody in the family is going into a nursing home. We also help with the first party special needs trust. So that means usually a settlement, or somebody's passed away and left money to an individual receiving benefits, and that person didn't have a trust set up at the time. Then we do estate planning and do pre-planning. That means people who say, yeah, indeed, I do have someone in my family who has a special need. I want to plan ahead. Then we do asset protection. I guess we have some part of our practice that's probate. It's the part that I don't particularly like, but we still do it. And we do some guardianships and conservatorships. We don't do any contested things. So in my head, when people ask me what's elder law, depending on who I'm talking to, if I'm talking to a student who is wondering if elder law might be something that they are considering for their career, I say it's what you think of as family law, except for family law is actually divorces, depositions, and courtroom brawls. And no one will like you, and lots of antagonism. But our practice maybe should be renamed, because you're helping families, you're helping them with their loved ones, whether it's their aunt, their mother, their grandfather, their spouse. You're helping navigate them through a healthcare crisis or a financial crisis that is in connection with aging or a disability.
So with so many different subcategories under elder law, is it tough for a new attorney starting out to get started in the market? Is it tough to find clients?
It's fair. No, that was two questions. Is it tough to get started? Amen, sister. It is very tough to get started. Is it hard to get clients? No, it isn't hard to get clients. It's hard to decide what kind of clients you want. And it's always best to be the master. You know that whole expression, jack of all trades, master of none? It's not profitable to be the jack of all trades, even within elder law. In my opinion, with all those different subcategories, getting good, but also getting efficient requires picking an area. So I understand it's not all about making money, but you have to be better at some of these areas than others in order to be efficient for your clients, and that will end up being a profitable decision.
Absolutely.
Does that make sense to you?
Yeah. So
you want to start an elder law firm now? You do.
I think there's a lot of people who would definitely benefit from more attorneys starting one.
There's no shortage of opportunities in Missouri. So my city is Kansas City, which has Kansas City, Kansas, and Kansas City, Missouri. And so we really do go across the state line frequently, often multiple times in a week, just to and from various shops. The laws are very different on each side in general, but on just in terms of the volume, there's a number that I found recently that might help you, Lisa, and that should help our listening folks today. There are over 40,000, I think it's closer to 50,000 nursing home beds in the state of Missouri. So that does not include rehab or independent living or assisted living, memory care, dementia care. It's just nursing beds. nursing home beds, what people would call the old folks' home beds. And there are probably 150 attorneys that practice in the area of elder law across the state. So yes, there is room. There is even room for you to subspecialize. There is room for you to decide, I only want to do contested trust administration matters. I only want to do undue influence. You can pick your niche and you will be embraced in the elder law community, because there are those of us like me who enter a courtroom and immediately have a decrease in IQ.
So what do you wish more elder law attorneys knew just in general?
I wish more elder law attorneys would group together and not be solos, so they can benefit from the economies of scale. Now, it doesn't mean that they have to fill a traditional law school partnership track where there are a handful of partners and 3 times the number of associates and they churn them out. Not that, but where elder law attorneys have failed so far is to group together and share fixed costs so they can have the benefit of everything from continuing education materials and practice materials and work comp and billing and payroll and admin and reception, marketing and websites, all those things. If elder law attorneys would come together and say more collaboratively, let's make this work, it would be, and when I say they aren't doing it, it's a handful across the state, on both sides of the state. It's a handful. They're most of the time it's just individuals who have decided to practice elder law, and some of them don't do as well financially as they could if they were grouped together. Some of them are meant to be attorneys and aren't interested in the entrepreneurial side of practice management.
It definitely comes twofold. Absolutely. So for any of our viewers or any of our attorneys watching who would like to get in touch with you, find out more about how you started your practice, or learn more about Assured Trust Company, which you also founded, how can they get in touch with you?
Is that an opportunity for me to say anything about my trust company? Because I would love to.
Absolutely. Go ahead.
So Assured Trust Company is a sister company. It's really a derivative. When I started Shepherd Elder Law, I had no idea that I would feel this calling to step into another area, which a trust company is a completely different area. But when you work with the elderly, the frail, and those who need a helping hand, sometimes those people need a trust company that understands their unique situation. So we are in a position where we handle the smaller financial amounts. So for example, in our area, less than $1 million is a challenge to find a trustee. And so that was one of the reasons that Assured Trust was born. And we also help the special needs, because working knowledge of Medicaid is incredibly important and is often lacking at the trust company level. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense for trust companies who make money from managing funds to have a lot of time and training invested in the mechanics of Medicaid and SSI. So that makes us different and very needed. And the easiest way to get a hold of me, until we invent teleporting, is still email. It's Samantha@shepherdelderlaw.com. Shepherd is spelled like someone who looks after sheep, SHEPHERD.
Perfect. Well, we'll make sure to link your contact information at the end of the video to make sure that our viewers can certainly get a hold of you if they'd like to. I can't thank you enough for taking the time to speak with us today. We really appreciate you sharing your story.
You're very welcome. Take care.
To learn more about how to add crisis Medicaid planning to your practice, head to the Education tab on our website or contact our office to speak with one of our team members today. Thanks for watching.